Hello, Ultra Buddies! We are doing a break and build for Ultraman Omega today. Very excited for it. So, I have the starter deck. We're going to open this up. We got level 1, then we got level 2 upgrades. We're going to do it all today and give you some tips on how to build your first Ultraman deck. If that's something you're interested in, you can stay tuned for that. I think this will be kind of helpful for that aspect too, but really excited to do a little bit more of a fun way of opening up the starter deck than just opening it up and letting you see what's inside. Spoilers, I already opened this and I recreated the starter deck for you all because I didn't press record the first time. So let's just get into it. It'll be pretty exciting. So we're going to move these off to the side. We'll get into them afterwards. So boom, this is the starter deck. Omega to the future. It comes with 2 Ultramen. Support is the Omega and Arc. These are the latest 2 Ultramen. For those of you who are kind of new to the Ultramen and don't really know anything about them, like me. So Omega is coming out right now. I've been watching a little bit of that, dip my toes in some of the series, and then Arc just finished up earlier this year, I think. So that's pretty exciting. So let's see what's in the deck. And boom, what we got here is our cards. We'll pop it open. In the back, there's a pack. You can see I already opened it. We're gonna go ahead and toss that. And we've got a pamphlet, teaches you a little bit about the combos for Omega. Uses Medio Kaiju, talk about the little arc, and then ways you can upgrade the deck in set 4, BP04, which looks like that pack you saw, which we'll get into in this video, so yeah, don't click away. And then we've got the usual, a little paper playmat that lets you see the areas, discard, deck, scene, and field. Pretty simple. And then some turn sequence reminders for those of you who are new to the game. And then on the back is a little mini rules pamphlet so you can learn the game, teach your friends, all that good stuff. I also highly recommend, there's like a little mini video series on the official YouTube channel that I thought was very helpful for understanding some of the rulings, because I think sometimes the words might be misinterpreted. So let's check out what is in the actual deck. The first card is this Ultraman Arc Eye Sword. It is level 3, which is the max level, triple rare. We get 3 triple rares in each starter deck. Basic. It has the ability triple, which means you play 1, 2, 3 cards together in a row, and my trash just fell down. If you send the top 3 cards of your deck to your discard, choose 1 card from among them and give all your characters that share a type with that card. The chosen card plus 1000 BP for this turn. So the type is this symbol right here. It is basic for this Ultraman Arc. So this card is like insanely powerful. It's fantastic that it's in the starter deck. It's been kind of making waves in our like early booster set 4. Meta is one of the strongest decks. There's other strong Arc cards that are basic, and you can pair that with a support Ultraman hero that is also basic type. So that is definitely a good reason to pick up the deck. Is just for these arcs alone. But of course, you only get 3, and the max copies is 4, so you are going to want to pick up 2 of those. So Ultraman Omega Reckoness Armor is our first Ultraman Omega, is our second triple rare, a double or triple effect. When it enters play, you can return 1 Medio Kaiju from your discard area to the top of the deck, kind of sets up your draws, and then you give this character 1 plus 1000 BP for this turn, which makes it, if it's a triple, it'll be an 18,000, which is a really, really strong number to deal with. So you get 3 of those. And then we get Reckoness, which Reckoness Armor, Reckoness. The last triple rare from the set is the Medio Kaiju, which is a Kaiju with type Medio. Single or double, when a character enters play, if you have Omega on the field, then you can give one of your Kaiju with type Medio, so for example itself, or an Omega plus a BP grade increase for this turn. So a pretty strong effect. And you can reuse this card sometimes. If you discard it from some of your other effects, you can put it back on top to use it for the next turn with your Omega. So it's a nice little synergy. And then I won't really go through these cards. We've got level 1 Omegas, or arcs. We've got level 2 arcs, and some more level 3 arcs. I think the best cards for arc in this deck are the level 3s. So you're going to want to pick up 2 so you can get the full play sets. Then we've got our level 1 Omegas, our level 2 Omegas. This one has an effect which we can talk about, which is when it's played as a double, so a 1-2, you can send the top 4 cards of your discard. If you send a Kaiju to the discard, it gets plus 1000 BP for this turn. So pretty reasonable. You could get the Reckiness, and if you mill the Reckiness from those top 4, then you can get it back with Omega, so no worries there. And since we're doing effects anyway, so this is a 2-3 triple, double or triple. When a character enters play, you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and send 2 of them to the discard and return the rest the top, or you don't have to send 2, you can return up to 2. So basically you just get to manipulate the top cards of your deck, and so you can draw whatever you want. So then we have a few more level 2 Omegas, level 3 Omegas, and then some Kaijus. We have some Kaijus from the Arc series, Grime and Givas. I think they're actually in this order, Givas and then Grime, and then 2 level 5 Reckiness, so you can level up this Reckiness. 2 scene cards, an Arc scene card, which is if you enters play, if you have Arc on the field, then you can reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and put an Ultra Hero from among them into your hand, send the rest to discard. And here comes an Alien. When this scene enters play, if you have Omega, you can reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and put 1 Kaiju with the type Medio from among them into your hand and send the rest to discard. So that's going to help you get your Reckiness. So that is the starter deck, and we'll keep out the Omega stuff. So I'll put these like that. So the last thing to talk about the starter deck is amazing to get if you and a friend want to play, because it's got 2 Ultra Heroes. It's kind of got 2 decks within it. If you and your friends get 2, you can give them all the arcs of this one and a second one, and they can build a solid arc deck, and then you can keep the Omegas and build a solid Omega deck. Both of these decks I think are very strong as well, so it's not like you're wimping out when you have them fully upgraded. So yeah, it's perfect. Or if you want Arc, you can take the Arc cards, give your friend the Omega. It's just like a really great way to split up the cards and have some decks. So love it. So for now, what we're gonna do is we're keeping the Omega cards. We're gonna say see you later, Arc. We'll see you in the next one. See you in some future videos for sure. And we're gonna keep our Arc cards out, and we are gonna be boosting them up with cards from BP04. So before we bust those cards out, what we're going to do is we're going to go into our level 1, I guess what we're calling level 1 upgrade. So that's just cards that are rare and lower from booster set 4, and we can upgrade it. But how do we build a deck? So you may be new to Ultraman card game, you don't really know what cards we should be putting in our deck. So I'm going to scoot these over here, make sure I got enough space for everything. How do we build a deck? How many level 2s do I play? How many level 3s do I play? How many Kaiju am I going to play? I do not know, Durian. I do not know, Chris. Well, that is what we're going to go over right now. So the simple formula here, and I will make a full-on video for this at some point, but it's very relevant for this, which I hope, if you're a new player watching it, welcome to the game, welcome to the community. But this is important for you. You don't know you need to know how to build a deck, right? And yeah, this is going to be a great place to start. So my general template for building a deck is we're going to choose 2 Ultra Heroes, in this case Ultra Hero and Kaiju, and we're going to have the main one and a support one. So the main one, we're going to have 10 level 1s, we're going to have 12 level 2s, and we're going to have 12 level 3s. We're going to have 12 support cards, which is typically 4 level 1, 4 level 2, 4 level 3, but it's going to be different for Kaiju. And then we're going to have 4 scenes. So let's go ahead and see what we've got in booster set 4 for Omegas, so we can fill out this deck. Where did our Reckiness? We need these guys. We need those guys. Don't want to misplace those. So let's start with level 1s. For level 1s in the set, we have a rare Ultraman Omega, which when you play it as a single, you draw 2 cards, and then you return 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck, only if you drew. So you could choose not to draw. I don't know why you would do that. But these cards are really important. Every deck has some variant of this, whether it's a draw 2 or check top 3, pick 1 Ultra Hero, and you want to be playing them. So we're definitely going to be putting that one in. We have an Omega that gets a power grade increase if its home is type speed, and we just have a vanilla 5000. So we're looking to play 10 of these cards. So what we'll do is we'll take this out. We'll take out the cards that don't have effects, because that's pretty generally a good rule of thumb, which you'll see we can break that in the future, but they have no effects and they only have 1 power. So That's not that important. So now we have 12. We need to get rid of 2 more cards. And what I think we're going to do is let's just get rid of... So what I'm going to say is, because we have this Reckoness here, which might be getting too deep in the weeds, but if we have this Reckoness, we can BP grade increase one of our Omegas. And that means we can make use of this 9,000 power here whenever we want, as opposed to the 8,000 power. So I think we can just get rid of this one. You could split these if you like the arts, you could do whatever, but that's what I'm just going to say is, because we have the chance to do a BP grade up on the level 1, we could make use of the 9,000 power a little bit, without having to match types. So we'll take the stronger one, right? Okay, let's move on to our level 2s. Let's see what we have level 2s in booster set 4. We have Reckiness Armor, which gains a BP grade increase if your opponent is type Speed. We have a really nice Omega Art, which is a 7,000, 11,000. And oh, that's a Steam card. And it looks like that is it. So since we have a BP grade increase effect, we're going to stick with, so I guess we're going to start with the cards that have effects, right? Start with cards that have effects. Let's go put these down. And then from there, we will go with cards that have solid BP grade increases. So in this case, we're looking for 12 again, right? So we have 12 grade 2s, level 2s. So we have 4 here. We have 3 there. So let's put in 2 of our 12,000 ones, since that will be a nice 12,000. And then I think we can do 3 of those, and that should make our 12. Should be 4, 7, 10, 12. Now we can move on to our level 3s. What level 3s do we have from BPO4? We have an Ultraman Omega Trigger on Armor, which is a triple effect. When it enters play, you can give one of your Kaiju with type Meteor plus 3,000 for this turn, which is a pretty big boost. Plus 3,000 is pretty big. And then we have a vanilla 9, 13, 7. So what we can do here is, I think generally, well, what we'll do effects first, right? Boom. So we have kind of the same situation here. So we have 4, 7, 10, 12, level 4s. Then we can do our scene cards. So compared to Here Comes the Alien, I think this scene card from the set is a lot more powerful. It's a round 3 scene. And activate, if you have an Omega, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to your discard area, and you choose one Omega or Meteor type Kaiju from among them. And for every Meteor Kaiju that you discard from the top 3, you give that character plus 2,000. So it can be a potential plus 6,000, a huge boost. So we will definitely play that one. So I would say that I wouldn't mind playing this card because it lets you grab your Meteor Kaijus, but because I want to grab Omegas more than I want to grab the Meteor Kaijus, because if I discard the Meteor Kaijus, I can use this Omega to get them back. I'm more concerned about getting Omegas, and because it cannot pick up an Omega from the top 5, we're going to go with this one, which is just going to be more power. We want power. Power is the name of this game. If we can have some strong plays, that's what we want. So now we are going to look at putting in 12 total Kaiju cards. So from our set, the most important one we need to add is this Trigaron Rare. Is a level 6, and if it's just played as a single or a double, you can, when this character enters play, if you have Omega, you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and put an Omega or a Kaiju with type Meteor from among them into your hand, and then discard the rest. So this is what I was saying. I want the cards that can search Omegas and Meteor Kaijus, not just the Meteor Kaijus. So this is a really strong card. It's going to help us get our 2 Omegas that are the strongest and build up our board. So we wanted 12, so we have 5 and 9. So then if we add 3 more Trigarons, that will get us to that. So level 5 Trigarons, this is so we can level up Trigarons as a 5/6. Reckiness we can play as a 5/6. There's also this Reckiness, which is a 10,000, 16,000, and it just loses the power types, which I will consider playing because it has, since this Reckiness can boost its power, it could be a 1 card for a 16, which is always pretty freaking great. But for now, we're going to pass. We're going to keep the deck nice and simple. So this is how your deck might look If you're unable to get any of those higher rarity cards, if you're playing a bit on a budget, you just want to get the rare cards and the common cards. Maybe you're sharing with some friends, they only have these like lower rarity cards to share with you. And for rares, I think in general, if you get 2 booster boxes or split 2 booster boxes with your friends, then you should be able to get the 4 of copies of any rare card. There's some weird clumping, so it might not work out that way sometimes, but in general, if you get 2 booster boxes, you should be able to get those rares. So I think that's a nice thing to know. How many products you're looking to get to build this deck is 1 starter deck and 2 booster boxes generally. So we can move on to, let's say, level 1.5, because this Reckiness is really strong. It's kind of, he's going off the screen. He's too strong. He's going off the screen. In general, we are going to want to get 2 of the starter decks to finish off your play sets of these cards. So we can do a kind of 0.5 here and upgrade the deck a little bit further with the cards that we have, extra cards that we have from the starter deck. So if we get an extra starter deck, these are the cards that we're most interested in playing. So, and actually this guy too. So where is my Stoof? So if you get 2 trial decks, then what you can do for level 2 Omegas is you'll get 2 more of these 12,000 powers and 1 more of this one with the effect. So you have 3 here, so we can take this one out. And this is going to be our 12 level 2s here. And then you're going to get 1 more Omega level 3 is going to go right there. You can take out this one with no effect. And then we do need some space here for these. And at this point is where I'm going to introduce a change to our formula, because our goal would be to play 4 Reckiness and then have 4 level 5 Reckiness so we can upgrade them and so we can have more Medio Kaiju for the scene. So now that we're like advancing a little past the basics 10, 12, 12, 10, 12, 12, 12, 4 scenes, we're going to make a slight modification here, and it's going to be a pretty simple one. Instead of 10, 12, 12, we are going to do a 8, 12, 10. So the reason for that is because when we first cut cards from our 10, 12, 12, you generally want to have the most level 2s. And that's because when you build stacks, you have to go 1, 2, 3, but you can also do 2, 3. So if you have a level 2, it works with your 3s and it works with your level 1s. So you want to have the most level 2. So we want to cut level 2s last. And then we also want to keep like a general bell curve. So instead of cutting level, I mean, you could do it either way, I guess. But if you want to cut the level 2, like 2 from the level 1s, then you'd have 8, 12, 12, which is reasonable. But you can also cut from the top and say you have 10, 12, 10. Those are some options. But once you have 10, 12, 10, you don't want to cut again from the top. You'd like to be a little bit more top heavy, so you'll cut from the bottom. So we're going to cut these cards to make room for our new Kaijus. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have 5. We have 4 level 5 Reckiness, 4 level 6 Reckiness, 4 level 5 Trigoron, and 4 level 6 Trigoron. And we're left with a 8, 12, 10, which I think is a pretty solid lineup. So that's how we're going to do our setup for 2 trial decks and low rarity cards from the set. And our final level, level 2, is going to be the high rarity cards from booster set 4. We'll start with this one. Is a level 2 rare, double rare. If you have 1 single or double play, when it enters play, you can reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and put 1 scene card from among them, this guy, and put it to your hand and then discard the rest. So that's going to help you get your scene card, and it's going to be really, really important. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replace this one with no ability. There is some options here where you could, at this point, these kind of 3 are interchangeable. They all have their ups and downs. What I'm choosing to do is use ones that can be played as a double and then also have the triple power. And that's because Reckiness has ability to BP grade up. So if this card I played as a double, it's 11,000. But if I use Reckiness, I can always make it a 13. If I play this one as a double, it's going to be a 12 and I can't boost it any further. However, if I play this one by itself, then Reckiness can make it a 12,000 by itself, which is stronger than any of these other cards. So it just kind of depends how you want to play it, but this is what I'm going to opt for. So we have our double rares now, and then our triple rare. This is the card that really is going to bring this deck alive, which is a double or triple effect. Activate once per turn, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. You're going to choose a level 6 or a level 5 kaiju, and then trigger its when active enters play effect, and then discard the rest. So if you pull a Reckiness, you can do a BP grade up, bumping things up to higher power levels. And if you pull a trigger around, then you can search the top 3 for another Omega or another Medio Kaiju. So this is the powerhouse of the deck. We have to play this at 4. So we're going to tentatively, we're going to drop 4 of these. But because I think this giving Medio Kaiju plus 3,000 is much stronger than a draw and discard, we're going to go ahead and do that. So that is what our deck is going to look like for the BP grade upgrades. We kept our ratios the same. It's 8 level 1s, 12 level 2s, 10 level 3s, 16 of our kaiju, and then 4 scenes. So if you want to count it out really quick, you can do what I like to do for a trick is we'll stack it up like this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4 is 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4 is 20. That's 40 cards, and 10 is 50. That's our 50 card deck. And that's it. That's our Omega deck that we'll be playing for a while. Like I mentioned, you can mess around with the level 2s here, and then you can also potentially mess around with this level 6 Reckiness. Those are some changes that you could try out at home. I will definitely be trying out in the next week. We are going to have Omega Week on the channel. We're going to be playing some matches of the new BP04 decks with Omega in every single one of them next week. So look forward to that. And then at the end, I'll do a deep dive into this deck, what worked, what didn't work, and if I play around with any changes like the level 12 I mentioned, or maybe even this one as opposed to that triple there. And then also I'll probably experiment with this. One thing I will not be experimenting with is adding another Ultra Hero to this deck. This is like getting a little into the weeds, but there is a promo card, Zeton, which activates a special effect if you only have one type of Ultraman on the field, which the Omega deck is susceptible to because it only has Omega. So some people are considering adding in a few cards of another arc or something to help support to counter that effect, because it is a very, very strong turn this card into a 20,000 power of type effect. But I would prefer to keep the deck simple and keep it lean and not worry about that card unless I have to, and also to see if I can beat decks that play it anyway. So that's my 2 cents on the Zeton card, for those of you who know about that. Starting with this, look forward to Omega Week. I gotta sleeve this bad boy up, so subscribe, put the notifications on so you don't miss any of those Omega matches, and especially not the in-depth deck profile at the end. And I'll see you there. Bye.